Students, today we are going to start with the drugstore and business management. So, this subject is basically meant to provide the information about the business. As you are very well known that pharmacy is a very noble profession. So, let's start up with the drugstore and business management. So, as we all know, human life is based upon the principle of work. You all have to work. As such, work is an essential part of our life, and whether one like it or not, he will have to work. He will have to work to earn his livelihood. A person must therefore adopt some profession or occupation to earn his livelihood. Pharmacy is one of the professions. The minimum qualification for this profession is diploma in pharmacy. After obtaining diploma in pharmacy, a person has two options. He may either work as a pharmacist in any government hospital, dispensary, private nursing home, or he may start his own retail store or business trading in the drugs and medicines. So, in order to run a smooth business, he must have an aptitude for business, and equally important is that he must develop a pleasant and tactful personality to deal with all the type of working persons. He must work with all type of sick persons. He should have a thorough knowledge of the business world. And in the above view, the Pharmacy Council of India introduced a new subject, drugs and business management, in the revised curriculum of its new education regulations of 1991. So this syllabus is basically divided into two parts. The part 1 relates to the commerce and part 2 deals with the accountancy. The commerce part deals with the different forms of the business organizations, the different channels of distribution, inventory control, sales promotion, banking and finance. The drug house management is also included in this part. In the accountancy part, topics such as accounting concepts and the conventions, recording of the business transactions, financial statements, and the analysis has been prescribed, and these all things we will be doing in this lecture and the coming lectures. So, what is a business? The business is divided into two parts: the commerce and the industry. The industry is further divided into extractive industry, the genetic industry, the manufacturing industry, and the construction industry. The commerce starts with the banking transactions, all you do with the banks, the transport, the insurance, the trade, and again this if you look at this chart, you will be seeing that industry is further divided into four parts, and then extractive is again divided into warehousing, packaging, advertisement, and the commerce again is coming to the transport, business, insurance, trade, warehousing, packaging, advertisement. Both the industry and the commerce are the interrelated to one another. If we look at the industry, if we again forward move up to the manufacturing, it is divided into analytical, synthetic, processing, and the assembly line. If we look at the commerce part, trade part, then it is divided into two parts, the internal and the international, and the internal is further divided into wholesale trade, the retail trade, and the international trade is divided into import, export, and entry port, and all these will we be discussing in the future lectures. Coming to the commerce part, what is commerce? The production of the goods and services for the satisfaction of human wants is the main objective of the industry. So, if you are in the service, if you are working, uh, then the main thing is that the commerce is the production of the goods and services for the satisfaction of human wants. and taking these goods and services to the people from whom they are produced is the aim of the commercial activity. So commerce is that aspect of business activity which is concerned with the distribution of the goods and services produced by the industry. So commerce serves as a valuable link between the producer and the consumer. Nowadays, जो commerce है, that is consists of a complex, well-developed system of transport, insurance, warehousing, and other allied activities which facilitate trade. So, hence, commerce is primarily concerned with the establishment of the contact between the producer and the seller. So, there should be a producer, there should be a seller, and then the commerce will work on it. The production of goods is done at the certain places, but consumers are scattered. So the requirements cannot be met because the manufacturing is taking place at one place and the consumers are located scattered at different areas, different parts of the places. Like if you look into the India, there are different states and there are different cities, and the customers are scattered all over in the different cities and the states. So the commerce has to be there so as to sell the products. So the passage of goods and services from the producer to the customer has many hindrances or the problems. The major hindrances or the problems which are faced are the hindrance of person. So in this, what happens is the basic problem faced by the producer is to establish contact and communication with the person who needs the good, and that toward the fair price. So commerce is concerned with the establishment of contact between the producer and seller through trade. So trade is thus the nucleus of the commerce. Hindrance of exchange. The goods produced by various industries are exchanged for them for money, which are the common and acceptable medium of exchange. So if you are going to buy something, so you will be giving the payment for that thing. You have to pay for that thing. So what is the role? What is the problem? The problem will be how to pay. Now suppose someone is sitting in a different part of the city and you are in the different part of the another city. So how will you be buying the goods? You are using Google Pay, you are using Paytm, you are using different digital methods. There are banks also. So the major portion is key that you will have to make the payment, and when you are going to make the payment you will be getting the product. So in order to sort out this problem, banks are there, modes of payments are settled. Entrance of place. The producer has to send his goods to the consumer situated far and near. So the commerce overcome this hindrance by transportation of the goods. You have a transport system of rail, road, water, air, and thus safely and economically you can transport the goods from one place to another. Interest of time, the goods are produced in the anticipation of the demands, and it becomes necessary to make suitable arrangement for the storage. So warehousing is an important function of the commerce which have to take place in this. Hindrance of knowledge, sometimes the producer who are engaged in the production of quality, top quality and reasonable price goods may not be able to find potential customers because they do not know how their goods are useful to the others. For this reason, advertising and publicity is done. By doing the advertising and publicity, the hindrance of knowledge, the problem of knowledge that ends. Hindrance of risk of damage or spoilage. During the transportation, the goods are damaged due to the mishandling. So the hindrance is overcome by the commerce by providing services, proper and safe packaging of the goods, and hence the goods are safely transported and stored. Hindrance of risk of knowledge. Despite efficient and cheap means of transportation and packaging, loss of goods cannot be ruled out. So there are insurances like the fire insurance, marine insurance, general insurance, which cover up the risk of the loss of the goods against a small premium. So next is the branches of commerce. So there are different branches or the functions that are performed by commerce is grouped as trade, and the activities revolving around trade are banking, transport, insurance, warehousing, packaging, advertising, and publicity. So, this is the basics of the commerce.